Hello, everybody. I am going to do the unit test review on YouTube. On my YouTube channel, it might take two videos of 10 minutes, so here it goes. Problem number one asks us to evaluate the inverse sine of root 2 over 2. The input of a trig function is a real number, and its output is an angle. The inverse sine has a range, possible outputs, of pi over 2 to negative pi over 2. So we have to be going in the first quadrant here, or the second quadrant, or I'm sorry, the fourth quadrant with our angle going negative. In this case, it's positive root 2 over 2. So my angle will be pi over 4 because positive pi over 4 gives us a triangle that is 1, 1 square root of 2. So the answer to this question is pi over 4. The next question says find the altitude. This is an inverse trig problem. And b is 5, so this is 2.5. And this is my x. I'm going to use the tangent function. The tangent of the angle is equal to x over 2.5. So theta is equal to 54 degrees in this case. And then my function becomes the tangent of 54 degrees is equal to x over 5. So 5 times the tangent of 54 degrees is equal to x. I realized I made a mistake here. This is 2.5, not 5. This is 2.5, not 5. So x in this case is 3.44. And that is the answer. The next problem asks us to substitute. So I want a trigonometric substitution. And I have the square root of 36 minus 6 sine squared theta. This will give me the algebraic expression of 36, or the trigonometric expression rather, of 36 minus 6 sine squared. That's where my squared needs to be, right up there. So it's 36 minus 36 sine squared theta. So this is equal to the square root of 36 times cosine squared. I took a little shortcut there. See if you can find it. This is equal to 6 times the cosine of the angle. Okay, so number 4 is an equation that says tangent squared x plus tangent equals 0. So I see it as tangent of x parentheses tangent of x plus 1 equals 0. This is split into two equations. Tangent of x equals 0, or tangent of x plus 1 equals 0. And in this case, we need to find out what x equals by looking at the coordinate plane, and we need to find out what x equal. We need to find out what our angle is when the tangent of x is equal to negative 1. This is when the tangent is this angle, right? This function here, equation here, asks us when is the tangent 0. So the tangent is 0 at 0 for the reason times the tangent function, and here is 0. So the tangent of 0 is 0. Now where else is it 0? Well, it's also 0 at pi. So really the answer is pi n. Because every pi, it's going to be 0. That was a poorly drawn tangent function. But nevertheless, you get the idea. Now, tangent of x equals -1 is a little different story. What I want to do there is draw a 45, 45, 90 triangle. And the tangent is negative here, and you can see this triangle here as having a reference angle or an angle of pi over 4. Now this angle here is 3 pi over 4, and this side, the 45, 45, 90 model is -1, 1, and square root of 2. The tangent function is also negative in quadrant 4. So here is my other reference angle, and this is also pi over 4. I can get all of those angles in there. I can write my solution if I just write x equals 3 pi over 4 plus pi n. So the pi comes from this pi here. Every pi n, it repeats itself. So this is one answer, and this is another answer to the equation. Okay, the next problem is problem number 5. And in this case, I have to use the sine sum formula. So this is equal to the sine of 5 pi over 3 times the cosine of pi over 4 minus the sine of pi over 4 times the cosine of 5 pi over 3. So we need to find these angles, the values of these trig functions. So we're going to have pi over 4 triangle here, so 1, 1, root 2, and 5 pi over 3 triangle, so I have pi over 4 here, and my 5 pi over 3 triangle here, and that's almost 2 pi, so I'm going to have pi over 3 here. This is pi over 3, so this is a 1, this is a negative root 3, and this is a 2. So I'm going to use these I'm going to use these two triangles here and here to find these values. The sine of 5 pi over 3 is negative root 3 over 2 times the cosine of pi over 2 is 1 over root 2 minus the sine of pi over 4 is 1 over root 2, and the cosine of 5 pi over 3 is 1/2. So simplifying this, I multiply these two, and I get negative root 3, and I subtract the 1, and this is over 2 times the square root of 2, which is the denominator. Okay, so that's the answer for problem number 5. And I'm going to try to squeeze in problem number 6 under 10 minutes. So this is the cosine of 120 times the cosine of 45 minus the sine of 120 times the cosine, times the sine of 45, sine of 45. So I need 120. Now 120 is here, leaving me with a 60-degree angle here. So I have 1, 2, root 3, and this is negative, and then 45 is actually, that triangle is right up here still, so we can just use that one. So the cosine of 120 is negative 1/2, oops, I'm over 10 minutes, so I'm going to have to continue this. Hopefully you can figure out the rest of this, okay?